So, teaching at Berklee, when I went there, I went as composer in residence, artist in residence, and it didn't matter whether I had teaching skills or not. It mattered more that I was somebody who was working in the field, for want of a better phrase, and that I brought that contact to the students. So, the students in the school, they're with instructors, and then they're being instructed for a life outside of school, and what my function was to be a link between the two. I began to see later how valuable that was to students, because I did find some students that were so comfortable in the zone of being a student that they stayed students for far too long. So also the material that the students had was the same material that I had studied when I was there. And I was, but by this time the way I taught I had become my language, and so there was a difference between what I did and what the school taught. But what I did, I came via what I did. So I would put something on the board, a tune on the board, and suddenly I would get these fingers, oh no, you can't do that. I said, what do you mean? They said, well, you can't have that note in that situation. And I didn't think of it that way. And so I began to play on that. I would purposely put things up there and see whether anybody copped it. And they nearly always did. Someone would say, you can't do that. So then I would play it, and I said, what do your ears tell you? So that gradually they would make a distinction of what might happen after these rules that they're learning might produce. I didn't insist that they break rules, but the idea that the rules should help them create a language, and then how they use the language is up to their creativity. So, and this aspect gave us, the relationship between me and the students, a really nice rapport, an easy rapport. And the thing is that I insisted that what they learnt in the classroom they need to adhere to, because it was a discipline, but it wasn't the end, it was the beginning. Once they had finished, that was the beginning, and that they had the freedom to turn it into their own language instead of somebody else's. And I really enjoyed that aspect. Then I noticed how I was interfering with their minds. So the other thing was that I had this, I found myself with this incredible responsibility towards them. There were some students I took on one-to-one students, and a couple of times I had some of them cried with, I don't know what, with some kind of revelation or something, and then, my sense of responsibility to them was sort of like a lifetime responsibility. But I took it on easily because I felt whatever I had sparked in them was valuable to them. In fact, I think I was only a catalyst to whatever they went through.